Hello, I'm Brian Moatz. I'd like to share some thoughts and comments about the lessons and readings for this coming Sunday service, September 22nd. The first reading comes from Jeremiah chapter 11. And today's reading tells of the suffering of the prophet Jeremiah, who announced God's word to Judah, but was met with intense opposition and persecution. Jeremiah continues to trust God in the midst of his suffering. Begins with saying, it was the Lord who made it known to me, and I knew. Then you showed me their evil deeds. People didn't really care for Jeremiah, and the Lord helped him to notice that as he prepared to deal with them. Our second reading comes from James chapters 3 and chapter 4. The subject is wisdom. The wisdom God gives unites our hearts and minds. Instead of living to satisfy our own wants and desires, we manifest His wisdom in peace, gentleness, mercy, and impartiality toward others. Chapter 4 begins, those conflicts and disputes among you, where do they come from? Do they not come from your cravings that are at war within you? You want something and do not have it, so you commit murder, and you covet something and cannot obtain it. So you engage in disputes and conflicts. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and you do not receive because you ask wrongly, in order to spend what you get on your pleasures. Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Our gospel comes from Mark chapter 9. Here, Jesus' teaching and action in this text are directed to the church whenever it is seduced by the world's definition of greatness, prestige, power, influence, and money. The antidote to such a concern for greatness is servanthood. In this passage, Jesus uses the apostles' trip to Capernaum. When he was in the house, he asked them, "What were you arguing about on the way?" But they were silent, for on the way they had argued with one another about who was the greatest. He sat down, called the 12, and said to them, "Whoever wants to be first must be last of all and servant of all." Something to think about is plain talk from Jesus. Please bring your ears to hear the message from Pastor Bob during worship this Sunday. See you again then. Thank you.